Greetings everyone, in this tutorial video I will show you how to use Z-Image Turbo version. It's a very fast, very lightweight model that you can generate amazing high quality, extremely realistic or stylized images on your local PC. The model is as small as 6 GB with maximum quality and it will run on literally every GPU, and since it is turbo model, it only requires 9 steps. All these images were locally generated, ultra fast, like 10 seconds generation time, and they are very high resolution as you are seeing right now. I will explain all of this. And all of these images were generated in SwarmUI with using the ComfyUI backend with our presets. One click to install, download and use right away. You probably didn't see before, but I have Z-Image Turbo FP8 scaled. This is 5.7 GB in size, so it fits into all GPUs. But this is not all. Furthermore, I will show you how to use ControlNet with Z-Image Turbo model. So you see, this was generated with ControlNet based on this input image. Or you see, based on this input image, these images were generated. I will show you how to use ControlNet with Z-Image Turbo model. But we are not done yet. I will also show you how to train your Z-Image Turbo model LoRAs, as you are seeing right now. By using the AI Toolkit from Ostris, you will be able to train amazing LoRAs even on a very low VRAM having very weak GPU fully locally. I have researched it extensively and prepared amazing presets for all GPUs with the highest quality. We have presets for 8 GB GPUs to 24 GB GPUs, and each one of them has a very high quality. For example, let me show you the default preset of the Ostris AI Toolkit versus our preset. So this left image was trained with the default preset of the AI Toolkit that he shows in his tutorial. And this is our preset. This is default preset. This is our preset. This is default preset. This is our preset. There is a massive quality difference between default versus our. And these are not cherry-picked images. These are grid generations. Another case, this is default preset and this is my preset. This is default preset and this is my preset. This is default preset and this is my preset. There is a massive difference. So I will show how to train with our preset on your PC. This is default preset and this is our preset. Default preset, our preset. You will get amazing quality training images. But we are not done yet. I will also show you how to train on RunPod extremely efficiently. With RTX 4090, for example, you will be able to train with amazing speed. I will also show how you can turn off your pod automatically after training. All of the installation is literally one click, and my installers installs the latest version of the application. I am not using any template, so it is not static. We are using the official PyTorch template. Therefore, with any GPU, you will be able to one click the install and use this amazing trainer on RunPod. But we are not done yet. I will also show how to install and use on MassedCompute, our favorite GPU provider, which is very fast. So you will be able to install it on MassedCompute and access it from a public URL like this and train it like it is in your PC. So easy, so fast, and it will run on cloud, not on your computer. And with our SwarmUI presets, you will be able to use this model with highest quality. And with our model downloader, you will be able to download the necessary files with just one click. So let's begin. As a first step, we need to download Z-Image models. For that, we are going to use our SwarmUI auto installer and model downloader. Download the latest zip file as usual as in previous tutorials. If you don't know how to install and use SwarmUI, follow this video, it will explain you everything. The links will be in the description of the video. Then move and copy the zip file into your SwarmUI installation. WinRAR, extract here. Overwrite all of the files. This is very important. You need to overwrite all the files. Then double click Windows Start Download Models App.bat file, run. This will start the model downloader. First of all, we need to download Z image models. We have significantly upgraded our application. We have moved to Gradio version 6. The initial loading will take a little bit longer than before, as you are seeing right now, but the application will work much better after loaded. Okay, we are loaded right now. You see we have significantly improved our interface. We have updated our bundles, and you see there is Z-Image Turbo Core bundle. This bundle will download Z-Image Turbo BF16 Q13 4 billion parameters text encoder. This is necessary for the Z-Image. Z-Image Turbo Fun ControlNet Union. We are going to use this ControlNet Union model to be able to generate images with references to images we want with using ControlNet preprocessors. And this is the VAE that it uses. So you can click download all models from here, or you can click individually these buttons to download. Download all models is the best approach. Alternatively, if you have a very low VRAM GPU, in the image generation models, you will see there is Z-Image Turbo models, and you will see we have Z-Image Turbo FP8 Scaled. This is a model that I have made myself. With our SE Courses Musubi Tuner premium application, now we can convert Z-Image models into FP8 Scaled as well. So let me start the application to show you. This is 5.73 gigabytes, so it fits into 6 gigabyte GPUs as well. However, don't get confused. Even if you don't have powerful GPU, with SwarmUI that is using ComfyUI backend, you can run any model on any GPU, literally, because it will use your RAM memory to hold some part of the model and it will work. Don't worry about that. But to get maximum speed, if you want, you can use FP8 Scaled if you have like 6 gigabytes of GPU or 8 gigabyte or 10 gigabytes of GPU. So in our SE Courses Musubi Tuner, we have FP8 model converter, and you can convert Q1 image and Z image models. This is how I converted. Follow the model downloads on the CMD window. Also on the very top, you will see that they have been downloaded. Then you are ready, so we can move to next step. As a next step, you need to update your ComfyUI installation. Get the latest zip file from here. Go to your ComfyUI installation. Again, extract and overwrite all the files. Then double click and run the Windows install or update ComfyUI bat file. This is important. So it will update ComfyUI to the latest version, which supports Z image models with ControlNet. So my ComfyUI installation were already up to date, but still it is updating everything. This ComfyUI installation is perfect. It supports Sage Attention, Flash Attention, Xformers, Triton, everything that you need with RTX 5000 series GPU support. So this is a very good installation. Okay, it has been done. Moreover, this ComfyUI installation supporting special samplers and schedulers like Bone, Tangent, Beta 57. You need to use our ComfyUI installation to have these extra samplers and schedulers. As a final step, we need to update our SwarmUI. So we have SwarmUI update bat file. This will also install ControlNet preprocessors automatically for you, so you won't be needed to install. The update and installation, both of them will do. You can read the announcements. You should always read the announcements that I have made. You see 3 December 2025 version 108 announcement. If you don't have it, or if you are using somewhere else, you can also manually install. You will have a button here that will tell you to install ControlNet. But since our installation is doing that automatically, you don't need it. Now we have everything ready. Now we need to update our presets. To get the latest presets, you can use the import feature as usual. You see there is import, choose file, select the latest preset from here and overwrite everything. However, if you want a clean installation that will delete all the existing presets and update them to the latest version, which I recommend, we have Windows preset delete import file and click yes. It will back up your preset and update the presets like this. Everything is ready. Then refresh your presets and sort by name. Okay, so how we are going to use Z image turbo model? First of all, quick tools, reset params to default. This is important. Then we have 2 separate presets for Z image. You see quality 1 and quality 2. Quality 2 is faster. It is only one process. It doesn't upscale. So let me demonstrate both of them. Direct apply. And for example, let's use this prompt. Okay. Copy paste your prompt here it is all set. You also need to set your aspect ratio. I did set base resolution of this model when you download the model that I have as a 1536 to 1536. By default, it was 1024. However, I think this model works better with this resolution. Sometimes you may get some mistakes, but generate more images because it is too fast. Let me show you real time. So let's generate 8 images. Generate. After the model loaded, let's see the speed. Moreover, you see the models that I upload for you have images, have descriptions, so you can read these descriptions and they are easier to use. Okay, the first generation started. The first one will be slower than the other ones. Okay, first one is done. So you see it was done in, let's see, 12 seconds. The next one is done in 7.84 seconds. What about using the more higher quality presets? So let me demonstrate that. I will reuse parameters of this one, so it will set the seed, then go back to preset and I will direct apply. So this will activate the special refine upscale. Moreover, this is important. You need to download the upscale models from here. So we have other models and image upscaling models. So download these 3 models to have accurate upscaling. Okay, then generate. Now this will upscale this image, but we cannot upscale a lot because this model has limitations. Also, sometimes you can see some hallucinations at the right or left side of the image. It is because of the high resolution that we generate. Sometimes you won't see, sometimes you will see, it depends. So let's have a comparison. The left one is the quality 2, which is way faster to generate. And the right one is the quality 1 preset that we have. So you see how much realism and details we add this way. It changes the image because this model is very sensitive to the resolution and upscale. However, it improves the quality significantly. So you can test both of the presets and decide which one is working better for you, which one is generating better images for your use case, and decide and use that way. So how we are going to use the ControlNet? The ControlNet logic is same. So let's reload this page, reset params to default. And you can use either of the presets, both of them is working. Let's use the direct, apply and quality 2. Now what is the difference? You need to provide a ControlNet input image, which will be the base of your image. For example, let's try this pose. Then you need to select your ControlNet preprocessing. This is not mandatory. If you are using already a Canny image, you don't need to select it. But if you are not using a preprocessed image, you need to select it. Then click this preview to see the preset output. If you have different aspect ratio, it will show you mangled preview. So let's click preview. You see, this is not accurate. So how to make it accurate? You need to have accurate aspect ratio with your, according to your input image, according to your ControlNet input. How you can set the aspect ratio accurately? I have been telling the SwarmUI developer to add this feature, but he still didn't add. So you need to choose file, upload your reference image, click res and use the exact aspect ratio or the closest. Let's use the exact aspect ratio, then disable this init image. So we use this init image to set our aspect ratio accordingly. Now when I click the preview, it will show me the accurate preview like this. I am ready. You don't set ControlNet union type for Z image turbo model. This is a little bit different ControlNet than the previous ones that we know. But you can enable and test it, it won't make difference, so we don't set it. So the ControlNet strength matters. Let me show you what I mean by that. So let's write our prompt and let's set a seed like this and generate. Now the ControlNet strength will impact your output. I've tested it and I find that between 0.6, 60% to 100% works. So this is 100% result. Let's see the 60% result. Okay, like this. By the way, you see this prompt and this ControlNet is not very related, but it is still following it pretty accurately. Okay, this time 60% didn't work well. So let's make it 70%. However, image quality increased, so you need to find a balance between both of them. We can change the prompt. Let me demonstrate. So let's make this 60%. A man wearing an amazing suit. Because this prompt is much more matching to our ControlNet image. You see this one. Okay, now 60% will generate a very accurate image as you are seeing right now. Yes. And I can choose the tier 1 like this, direct apply and generate. Then it will generate higher quality, higher resolution. So what does this do is that it first render, then it does another render over it with upscaling to improve the quality. And yes, you see the same pose, different person, definitely. However, it is working really good as you are seeing right now. So this was the Canny Edge preprocessor. You can use the depth. Let's see the depth preprocessing from here. When you first time click preview, it will download the necessary model if you don't have it. So from the debug menu, you can see whether it is downloading or not. And let's see, preview is not done yet. We are still waiting. Probably it is trying to download. Yes, you see it has downloaded it here. I can see it. And yes, the depth has been generated. Now generate again. So you can use either way. You can use Canny, you can use depth, whichever is working best for your case. You can use Lineart. If you have a Lineart drawing, you can color it. Let me demonstrate you. Then I will choose that image from here. X, choose file. I also need accurate aspect ratio. So let's choose the file from here. Resolution, use the closest aspect ratio. And this is it. Then disable init image. And I am not going to use any ControlNet preprocessing. And let's try an amazing cell shaded render of a dragon. Okay, let's see what we get. Since this is ControlNet Union, it should be able to understand it. By the way, this time we can also increase the ControlNet strength if we want. Okay, we are getting something. This was a very simple prompt, but I think we will get a good image. Yeah, pretty amazing. Pretty amazing result. If I want more matching, more exact matching, I can increase this strength. So this is another generation. So as you increase the strength, it will more match to the original image. This one is looking like this. So this is the way. We can also set the preprocessing to like, let's see what we have. Lineart standard preprocessing. So let's see the preview. When you first time click preview, it will download the model, and I am first time clicking it. So it is taking time for preview to appear. It is downloading the model. Okay, this is another generation. Pretty good. So you see, from this simple line art, I can generate very, very good images like these ones. Okay, it is here, and this is the preview. So I can use this preprocessing as well and compare the results. And this is the result with Lineart preprocessing. So you see, this is entirely different than this version. So you can use either way. It is working really good, really amazing. So I recommend you to test your case. Okay, now the part that you have been waiting for. How to use Ostris AI Toolkit to train your Z-Image Turbo LoRA models. First of all, we need to download and install Ostris AI Toolkit. Currently, Ostris AI Toolkit has a bug. Therefore, you need to download this zip file. AI Toolkit SE Courses version 2. Until he fixes that bug, I made a pull request which fixes the bug of the CPU offloading. So I will update this post. So when you are watching this tutorial, if you don't see this AI Toolkit SE Courses version 2, then you need to download this official version, which installed from the official repository. This will install from my forked repository. Then move the zip file into the drive where you want to install and extract all. Enter inside the folder. So you see we have Windows install, Windows first time UI setup, Windows start, and Windows update bat files. But before starting installation, you need to read the Windows requirements. We have the classical requirements, but additionally, you need to download Node.js. I am using Node.js version 22.20.0. The direct link is here. You just need to download it, start it, next. So you see, I already have. You just need to click next, 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 next. That's it. Nothing else. So after you have followed both of the requirements, click Windows install.bat file run. This will install the Ostris AI Toolkit with Flash Attention, Sage Attention, Xformers, with Torch 2.8, CUDA 12.9, and my installation supports all of the GPUs starting from RTX 1000 series to 5000 series. Or on cloud GPUs, it supports 800, H100, B200, whatever the GPU that you use on cloud. So wait for initial installation to be completed. Okay, so the installation has been completed. You can scroll up and see if there are any errors. There shouldn't be. This is important. You need to have Python 3.10.11 installed. Then press Indicate to continue. Second thing is Windows first time UI setup. This is one time and you need to run this. Do not run this again after you have made the initial installation. For this to work, as I said, you need to have Node.js installed. Otherwise it will not work. Node.js is a system-wide installation. It is not like a virtual environment, so you need to install it as I have shown you. You may get some warnings like this. These are all unimportant. You see there are warnings. You can just ignore all of them and it is done. You see setup completed successful. Now we are ready to use. Next time for updating you can use Windows Update app.bat file. But since we just installed, let's start the application. So it will give us public URL and localhost URL. Public URL is useful in MassedCompute. It doesn't work in RunPod, but in MassedCompute it works. I will show both of them hopefully. This is our interface. Go to New Job and show Advanced. There is no preset saving and loading in the AI Toolkit yet. So how you are going to use my presets? Enter inside the Z-Image Turbo LoRA configs. According to your GPU, select the configuration. Since I have RTX 5090, I am going to use 24 GB. You see there is no higher configuration because this model fits into 24 GB. Quality 1 is better than quality 2, quality 2 is better than quality 3, 4, and it goes on. So let's open this quality 1 config, copy it, paste it here and show simple. It will update everything except the dataset. So you need to have your dataset from datasets, new dataset, give a name like my dataset, then upload your images with drag and drop here. They will be uploaded. Then you can type any caption, caption 1, caption 2, anything. I will explain everything, don't worry. This is just explaining you how it works. The dataset will be saved inside the AI toolkit, inside datasets. Here you see my dataset and the captions are image file names with txt. So image file name and txt, this is the format of the dataset system of the AI toolkit. I already have my dataset here. So you see this is my dataset. I will copy this, paste it into datasets folder. And when I go to datasets and refresh this page, you see it will appear. So how to prepare your training images dataset. Now I will explain this part extremely carefully. So watch all of it. To automatically prepare your images, I recommend to use Ultimate Batch Image Processing app. You see it is under Accelerate Tools section. So let's go to this link. I recommend you to check out these screenshots, read this post. Let's scroll down and let's download the latest version. Then let's move it into our Q drive, right click, extract here, enter inside it. First of all, we need to install. This is a pretty fast installation. This application is very lightweight, but it has so many features. Okay, the installation has been completed. Scroll up to see if there are any errors or not. Then close this. Then let's start the application. Windows Start Application, Run. Why this application important? Because this will allow you to batch pre-process your training images. You can of course manually pre-process your images, but this makes it much easier and accurate. So I have some sample images to demonstrate you the power of this tool. I will copy this path and enter as an input folder. Then as an output folder, let's output them into my other folder as Preprocess Stage 1. Then the aspect ratio. If you are going to generate images with 16:9 always, you can make your aspect ratio accordingly. However, if you are not sure which aspect ratio you are going to use, I recommend you to use square aspect ratio with 1328 to 1328 pixels. This is the base resolution of the QN image model or QN image edit model. This works best, and with this aspect ratio and resolution, you can still generate any aspect ratio. All the images I have shown you in the beginning of the tutorial were trained with 1328 to 1328. Then there are several options. You can select the classes from here to zoom them in. This is extremely useful when you are training a person because you want to zoom in the person. What I mean by that, you see in these images, there are a lot of extra spaces that can be zoomed in. For example, in this image, I can zoom in myself a lot. So you can choose this, or there is a better one which is based on SAM2. This takes anything as a prompt, let's say person. You can set your batch size, GPU IDs. These are all advanced stuff if you are going to process a lot of images. So default is good. Let's start processing. What this is going to do is it is going to zoom in the class I have given without cropping any part of the class. So this will not make these images exactly as this resolution or this aspect ratio. It will try to match this aspect ratio without cropping any part of the subject. So let's see what kind of images we are getting. We are saving them inside here. You see it has generated this subfolder. This is important because in the second stage, we are going to use this to make them exactly same resolution. When I enter inside this folder, you can see that it has zoomed in the person. So this is how it works. And when it is zooming in, it will not crop any parts of the image. And also when zooming in, it will try to match the aspect ratio that you have given like this. Okay, the first stage has been completed. Now the second stage is resizing them into the exact resolution. This will crop the subject if it is necessary, like cropping the body parts to match the exact resolution. So this takes the parent folder, not this folder. This is not the folder, but this is the folder that I need to give. And I need to change the resolution that I want. So this will look a subfolder, name it as exactly like this. You can have multiple resolutions actually. For example, in the image cropper, I can add here another resolution. Let's say 16:9. So this is the resolution of 16:9 for Cube image model. Let's edit like 1744 to 992. Let's start processing. It will process this new resolution as well. And I am going to see a folder generated here in a minute when it is processed. Okay, it is started processing. Now it will try to match this aspect ratio. It may not match it exactly. Why? Because it is not going to crop any body parts. So you see this image cannot match that aspect ratio. This is not a suitable image for that. This is almost still square. However, in the second tab, when I go to image resizer, when I type it, you see I have given the parent folder. Let's wait for this one to finish. Okay, it is almost finished. By the way, if you use this YOLO, it is faster than SAM2. So just delete this and select your class from here. It supports so many classes to focus on them. Okay, it is done. Now I am going to make the output folder as final images like this. And I will click resize images. You can also make resize without cropping. So it will make padding expansion. So let's resize images. I recommend cropping, it is better. Then let's go back to our folder final images. Okay, in here you will see that it has cropped the body parts, resized it into the exact resolution like this. And these are the square images. They are much more accurate than the other ones. Now I have my images ready. However, this is not a very good collection of images. It is another thing that you need to be careful of. I have used these images to train the models that I have shown you in the beginning of the tutorial. So when we analyze these images, what do you see? I have full body pose like this. I have half body pose. I have very close shot. And when you have images, what matters is that it should have good lighting, good focus. These two are extremely important. It should be very clear. All of these images are captured with my cheap phone, so they are not taken with a professional camera. For example, when we look at this image, you see it is not even a very good quality. Also, these are some old images. I didn't update my dataset yet, but using medium quality images, and I am showing you how much you can obtain with a medium quality. If you use a higher quality, then you will get even better results than I did get. Why these images are medium quality? I mean, let me show you this image. You see, this image is not even a very high quality. This is how it looks. And this is a real image. This is a raw image. And when we look at the AI generated image, as you can see, it is even higher quality than my raw image. And Therefore, you should add highest possible quality images into your training dataset to get the maximum quality images. What else is important? You should try to have different clothings so it will not memorize your clothing. This is super important. Try to have different clothings, different times, different backgrounds. All of these will help. Whatever you repeat in your training dataset, the model will memorize them. You don't want that. You want only yourself or the subject, if you are training a style, the style, or an object, the object, to be repeated, nothing else. I will explain them in the style and the item training, the product training part. And one another thing is that you should add the emotions that you want. If you want smiling, you should add it. If you want laughing, you should add it. So whatever the emotion you have will make 100% quality difference in your outputs. Try to have all the emotions you want, but that is not all. Also try to have all the angles you want. If you want to generate images that looks down, you should have an image that has a look down like this, or from this angle, whatever angle. So do not add the angles and poses that you don't want after training, and add the poses and the angles you want to generate after training. So if we summarize again, have the emotions, have the poses, have the angles, have different backgrounds, have different clothings, have highest possible quality lighting and focus. Do not have blurry backgrounds, do not have fuzzy backgrounds. They will impact your output quality. So in the AI world, whatever you give, you get it. And with this medium quality dataset, I am able to generate amazing images. If I increase the number of images, the variety in these images, I can get even better quality. Okay, now you understand how to prepare your dataset. There are few tricky issues with the Z image turbo model training. The best quality for this model is 1536 pixels. So make your images 1536 pixels if they are bigger resolution, not 1328 or not 1024. 1536 pixels. Another thing is that this model is extremely aspect ratio dependent. So if you want to generate your images with a certain aspect ratio, then you should prepare your images with that aspect ratio. What I mean by that? For example, currently my images are all square like this. You see, like this. However, if I want 16:9 aspect ratio to generate images after training, then I should set my aspect ratio according to like this. So if I use this image, this aspect ratio for training, instead of square aspect ratio, this model will able to generate images better in that aspect ratio. So therefore, I recommend you to prepare your images with your desired aspect ratio after training. So you see this generation was square, therefore it is much more natural and accurate compared to the 16:9 aspect ratio. I had to generate a lot of images to get accurately looking 16:9 aspect ratio images. So decide your aspect ratio, whichever the aspect ratio that you want to generate your images after training, and base it on that aspect ratio, prepare your training images. Okay, once the training images are ready, let's go back to new job, show advanced, copy the configuration, show simple. Now training name is the final file names that you are going to get after training. Since I have done previously a training, I will use this name, so it will generate names like this so that I can show you how to find the best checkpoint. And you will see that our configuration is already using version 2 adapter. This may get updated later because the Ostris is working on adapter. And what is this? Because this model is turbo model, it is distillate model. Until the Alibaba team publishes the main model, we are using distillate turbo model. So to not break the distillation of the model, we are using a trick. This adapter model is merged with the turbo model during training automatically. We don't do that, so that it behaves like a main model. So therefore our trained LoRA is not breaking the turbo model. This is not the highest quality. This is not the quality that we are going to get from the base model, but it is working. And we don't change this. It will download it into Hugging Face cache. You don't change anything here. What you can change here is that save every n steps. So this trainer doesn't work with epoch based, it works with the steps based. Therefore, I recommend you to calculate your number of steps based number of the training images. I have 28 images, so I recommend 200 epochs for this number of images. That makes 5600 steps. And if you want 10 checkpoints, make this 560. If you want 8 checkpoints, make it 800 steps. So based on these steps, it will save those checkpoints, and max steps saves to keep. So if I make this 3, it will keep only 3 and it will delete the previous ones. This is how it works. So I will keep all of them. And you don't change anything here. They are all set. In the dataset, you select your training dataset. This is my dataset. And you don't change anything else here from the configuration. And that's it. You can also have samples during generation. Currently, I did set it 250,000 steps. They are never generated. But if you want them to be generated like every 100 steps or maybe 200 steps, you can generate them and you can see them if they are good or not. But I am not doing that. It is up to you. Moreover, there is skip first sample, which generates the samples just when begin the training. I'm not using that either, but you can disable this and it will generate samples. And there is trigger word. I am only training with a trigger word right now. Since I don't provide any captions in my dataset, it is trained entirely with this. But if you also provide captions with your dataset like test1 caption, then it will append the trigger word. I think it is appended into beginning. So it will become like OHWX test1 during the training. However, I don't recommend the captions, and you see we are losing our configuration. This is annoying, I know that. The AI toolkit must get save and load configuration. Okay, I need to make the file name again like this. Okay, and this was 700 steps, this was 5600. Okay, so I have compared all this. I have tested all of them for you. I have done so many grid tests to find everything. I did so many trainings. For example, let me show you some of the trainings that I have made. You see all these different parameters I have tested. I have tested 1024, 1280, combination of the different resolutions like these three. And the best yielding resolution for this model is 1536. However, if you want to speed up your training, if this becomes too slow for you, then you need to disable this and use like 1280 or just use 1024, or you can enable all three. Too much speed comes with 1024, but the best quality is with 1536 for the Z image turbo model. And let's select our training dataset. I am also not using any caption dropout. So these are all my settings, and then click create job. Now this training is queued, not automatically started. So you can either click from here to start, or you can go to training queue and click the play icon from here. And you see it shows queued, then you click start and it will start the queue processing. Let's see what is happening in our VRAM. Currently I'm recording video with my second GPU, so my initial GPU is empty. I just need to close the SwarmUI, it will become 0, yes. So you can see the speed. I have tested the speed. It is same on Windows and Linux. This is surprising, but maybe it is good, I don't know, because I am not sure whether it is fully utilizing the GPU or not. I don't see it is fully utilizing on Windows, but it is fairly fast and I can speed up the training significantly with dropping the resolution. So when you click this icon, it will show you the training window like this. You don't see the training on the started CMD window, you will see it from here. When you refresh this page, let's go to dashboard, you need to click this icon to see it. Don't forget that. So it will show you some of the statistics and it will show you what is happening. This is actually what is happening on the training. This is the window that you are going to follow. It will first cache, then unload the text encoder. I did set everything for you. These parameters are really optimal. Let's say you have 100 images as a training dataset, then set it 10,000 steps. I don't know how many steps you can do until the model breaks, but I can say that up to 10,000 steps you are safe. Maybe even 20,000 steps. You need to test. And since we are saving checkpoints, we will compare. The checkpoints will appear here. This is very useful because on RunPod and MassedCompute, you can directly download them from here. They will appear here. they will be saved inside the folder. So it is started, but to get checkpoints quickly, let me show you how they will appear. So I will pause this, and you see it says that you can resume, but you can resume from the last checkpoint. Therefore, if there weren't any checkpoints, it will start from the beginning. However, if you had checkpoints, it will resume from the last checkpoint. This is how it works. So I will modify and I will save checkpoints every 5 steps. So let's make this every 5 steps, update job, then click play, and it will start again. So I will start getting checkpoints here. Therefore, I can show you how they are appearing. When I start it again, it will not cache the images and text captions again since they were already cached. So where they are stored, when you go back into your AI Toolkit installation, in the output, your trainings will be saved here. When I enter inside this training, you see they are named with the same name as the name that I have set, or the name I set here. So they will be saved with that name. It shows the log PID and it will save the checkpoints here. We will see in a moment. You can also set the checkpoints from the settings. You can set the training folder path. So you see, this is the path where it will save the checkpoints. You can change this and it will save the checkpoints there, or the trainings. And you see, this is the datasets folder. So you can change both of these and save settings. Let's go back to dashboard. Let's see our training. So we see the steps. It will start from the first step. Okay, it started. It is doing the steps. The speed is 6.67 seconds for RTX 5090 with the very high quality, highest quality. Okay, we got the first checkpoint, so it is appeared here. When I click this download, it will download. So you can use this in RunPod or MassedCompute. And when I go back to outputs, I will see the checkpoint here. So it is saved like this. Now I need to move this into my LoRA folder and test it. And you see it also saved an optimizer PT file. So now that I can pause and continue. So let's get the next checkpoint. Yes, it is saved here. Now I will pause it and I will resume it. Let's see how it continues. Okay, click play again. Now it should resume from the last checkpoint, which is the 10 steps. Let's see what happens. So the speed was 6.7 seconds. I also shown the speeds. In experiment speeds folder, you can see the speeds of different resolutions. 1024, 1280, combination mixed, 1536. These are all speeds of the RTX 4090, not 5090. This is 5090 speed and this is RTX 3060 speed. So we have the speeds. Okay, nice. So it is continuing from the last checkpoint, which was 10 steps. So this is how you can continue your training with AI Toolkit. These things are not specific to the Z image turbo model. With any model, these are applying, but for each model, you need to research a new configuration. That is important. If you use the default values, you probably won't get the best results. Okay, so this is the speed. I can increase the speed with reducing the resolution. And what are the differences between the default versus our best training? I have it, so let me show you. This is default configuration, which the Ostris shown in his tutorial, and this is our config. This is default, this is our config. Default, our config. Default, our config. Our configuration is much better. This is default, this is our config. Default, our config. You see, there is a very significant difference between default, between our config. Default, our config. Our configuration yields much better results. Default, which the Ostris shown, our config. You see, there is a massive quality difference between default and our configuration. Default, our config. Based on the prompt, you will see massive difference. Default, our config. There is a huge difference between default and our config. Default, our config. Default, our config. You see, there is 2 persons because we are generating in high resolution. So we need to generate just more images to get default, our config. Another prompt, default, our config. There is a massive difference. Default versus our config. Default, our config. And these are grid images. And you see, it even learned my broken teeth. I have a broken teeth here. Maybe you noticed that. It learned it slightly. And this is a turbo model, not like a base model. So this is pretty good, pretty accurate. So this is how we train. After training, how we are going to test them, it's the same as our other tests that I have shown in other tutorials. So you will have checkpoints like this in the output folder. Once the training finishes, move them into your LoRA folder. So I have them in my LoRA folder. Then start your SwarmUI after put them in, or if you are already running, it is fine. Go to LoRAs, refresh. Then let's reset params to default. Let's go to presets, select our preset again, direct apply, and go to tools and select the grid generator. Let's say test 1, whatever the name you want. From here, select LoRA, type your LoRA name. My LoRA name is like this, add all, so it adds all the LoRAs. The last one goes here, so it is the last checkpoint. So they are also sorted like this. Then the prompt. You can use any prompt you want, like prompt like this. To separate prompts, use this character. So each prompt will be different. However, this is not the proper prompt, so I am going to use the example prompt which I have provided in the zip file. When you go here, you will see test grid prompts and grid format. Copy this. You can change this according to your training and generate grid. Now this will generate a grid for me based on these LoRA checkpoints, so I can see them. So let's go to here and see that in real time. Okay. So from here, okay, LoRA prompt, this is true. Sometimes you need to play with this to see. As the image is generated, they will appear. Do we have an error somewhere? Why did it? Okay, we have forgotten reset params to default. Therefore, the generation failed, you see, because the ControlNet is open. So always reset params to default. Don't forget that. Okay, then let's select the preset one more time. Direct apply. Let's go back to tools and generate grid, because otherwise you will get error as I just had, because the ControlNet was enabled. Now you just need to wait for processing to be finished and we will be able to compare the grid, the quality. So this is first. As you can see on 5090, it is pretty fast. Every image taking like 8 seconds. I don't need to wait more, but you can see that it is very under-trained in early steps and it will get better trained up to the last steps. We will see it. Even early steps, there is some resemblance. I prefer this over generating samples during the training. It's a choice. I find this better because I don't lose time with the training process, and this is the most proper way of testing in my opinion, not using the samples generated during the training. Sometimes they may be inaccurate. Okay, so the grid generation has been completed. Let's refresh. Now compare the checkpoints. 700 steps, 1400 steps, 2100 steps. So you see this way it goes. Decide which one is best for you. I can say that the last one is the best. So you see this is very best. If you can't decide based on this, what you can do is you can make this test 2 and generate another grid. So this way compare until you decide which one is working best. Moreover, trained LoRa's working with the ControlNet union as well. The only thing is that set your ControlNet strength to 0.6, so it is 60%, and then type your prompt. With just this simple prompt, photo of OHWX man wearing an amazing suit, I am able to get amazing quality images with my trained LoRa by using this reference image as a ControlNet. So it is fully working same way as using the base model with our trained LoRAs. Now I will show you how to install and use Ostris AI Toolkit on RunPod, then on MassedCompute. To use on RunPod, always follow RunPod instructions txt file that I have always. I have this file in all of my applications. For RunPod and MassedCompute, always follow them. So let's open this. First of all, please register RunPod from this link. I appreciate that. This enables me to do more research on RunPod. This helps me significantly because these trainings are using huge amount of money. So you see I have spent $90 on a single day for Z image research and then $10. Once you are here, go to billing and set some credits, pay with your card, whatever, then go to pods. You can also use per minute storage, which I use it. I also have a dedicated tutorial for that. So you see we have RunPod per minute network storage tutorial, but I will show on a single pod this time. I recommend you to limit your region to the US starting from bottom. These are the best GPUs. For this Ostris AI Toolkit, you can use RTX 4090. This is the most performant price option. If you want more speed, you can use RTX 5090. The bigger ones are useless because it fits into VRAM. So let's see where we have. Okay, we have it here. Moreover, from additional filters, select 100 RAM and NVMe disk. Okay, we don't have it, so we need to check again. USNC2, NC1, MO2, MO1, MD1, KS. Okay, here we have it. Then change this template to whatever template the instructions file tells you. The instructions is telling this, then you need to select this. If you get an error here, like when I select 5090, it will tell me that you need to use this. This is wrong. Why? Because I am installing applications into a virtual environment. I am not using the template environment. That is why. So don't believe whatever the RunPod is telling you. Use the template that I write in my instructions. So we are going to use this official PyTorch 2.2.0 template. This is super fast. Then click this edit template and add an port here. 8675. This is super important, otherwise you won't be able to connect the Ostris AI Toolkit interface. And set your volume disk according to your needs. If you are going to get too many checkpoints, if you are going to train bigger model, you need bigger, but for Z image, Turbo Model 200 is sufficient and deploy on demand. Since this is using official template, it will be super fast to initialize. Sometimes it doesn't show here, so refresh to see the status. If it gets initialized or not, it should be very fast initialized. Okay, details, telemetry, refresh. Okay, it is initialized. So it took like 20 or 30 seconds because this template is very lightweight. Then click Jupyter Lab. Sometimes Jupyter Lab may also not get loaded. You need to refresh. If it doesn't get loaded, delete the machine and get a new one. First of all, verify that its GPU is working. Pip install NVI top, then type NVI top, and you need to see your GPU like this. Otherwise, just delete the pod and move to new one. Then upload the zip file into here like this. This is important. Wait for upload to be completed. It is uploading in the bottom as you see. Then right click and extract archive. Then click refresh. Okay, it's extracted. Open the RunPod instructions read txt file. Copy this command. Open a new terminal. Paste it and hit enter. This is it. This will install everything fully automatically, including the Node.js or whatever libraries. You don't need to do anything else. Once the installation has been completed, we are going to use this to start the application. If you restart your pod again, if you want to use again, you just need to run this command. But since this is first time, we just need this to start once the installation has been completed. The installation speed totally depends on the pod that you got. If it is a fast pod, if you are lucky enough, it will be fast. Otherwise, it will take time. But since we have made some filtering, we have selected from a certain region, I can say that this pod is fast. There are major advantages of my installers on RunPod. Instead of using a RunPod template, it always installs the latest version of the AI toolkit. It supports all of the GPUs that are available on RunPod, not certain type of GPUs. So installation of latest version and this GPU support makes it much more advantageous because you always use the latest version of the application. Moreover, the installation is fairly fast since it is extremely optimized by myself. So the installation is getting completed. You can ignore these warning messages as I have also explained it in the Windows tutorial part. You need to watch Windows tutorial part to learn it. Moreover, if you don't know how to install and use SwarmUI and ComfyUI on RunPod, I have an excellent up-to-date tutorial. The link will be in the description of the video, this tutorial, so watch it to learn. I won't explain that part in this video. I will only show Ostris AI toolkit usage on RunPod in this tutorial, so watch this tutorial to learn how to use SwarmUI and ComfyUI on RunPod. The link will be in the description of the video. Okay, installation almost completed. Alright, the installation has been completed. Now we will run this starting command, terminal, copy paste the starting command. The starting should be fairly fast. You see it also gives us a network link like this, but it is not working in RunPod, so we need to connect from RunPod proxy. So go back to your MyPods, click HTTP service 8675 it will open the AI toolkit and we got the interface. The rest is exactly same. First of all, make your dataset. You can also upload your dataset into AI toolkit datasets folder, or you can click dataset, my dataset like this, create, then click add images and you can drag and drop the files as I have shown in the Windows tutorial part. It will upload them to the RunPod. We will see the dataset here. Yes, you see the datasets, my dataset, exactly same. The upload will take some time because the RunPod is slow. They will appear here once processed. Okay, let's see what's happening. If it doesn't work, you can also drag and drop them to here like this. It will upload from the JupyterLab interface. Then you can refresh to get it. Yes, it is uploading. So let's use this way. Either way should work. We can just refresh. So you see the dataset images will appear here. Then click new job, show advanced. Again, same as in the Windows tutorial part. Let's select our config like this one. Copy paste, show simple, select your dataset. I'm not going to repeat the Windows tutorial part. Create job and click training so that we can see the training on RunPod. It should be fairly fast. First it will download the necessary model, then it will start the training. Let's just wait and see the logs. So you see it is downloading model into our workspace fairly fast. We can see the speed. Okay, so the training has been started. You can see the step speeds here. It will also show the step speed here after a while. Currently like 8 seconds IT, you need to wait a little bit. It is using the GPU 100%. The memory usage is around 90%. So RTX 4090 is very good on RunPod as a price performance. Therefore, I recommend it. If you want faster, go with the RTX 5090. It's a little bit faster. Again, as I have shown in the Windows tutorial part, you can look at the speeds. These four are for RTX 4090. This is RTX 5090 and this is RTX 3060. So the speed is decent. It will take like 13 hours. Maybe it will take lesser, but let's say 13 hours. The cost would be like $10, maybe lesser than $10, 0.62 with 13, like $8. If you want faster, as I have shown in the tutorial, just change the resolution. It will become 4 times faster. It will take 4 times lesser. That is the strategy, but it will lower the quality. I don't recommend it. As I have shown in Windows tutorial part, it will lower the quality significantly. Then you will get the checkpoints here, so you can download them from here or from my pods. Go back to AI Toolkit output. They will appear inside here, so you can download them from here too. That is it. Then you can terminate your pod, stop your pod. These are the same. If you want to stop your pod after training has been finished, we also have a command for it. So you see, this will stop your pod. How to do it? You need to get your pod ID and paste it here. So this is seconds. Let's stop our pod in 20 seconds. So copy this, open a new terminal, paste it. Now in 20 seconds, we will see that our pod has been stopped. Let's see. Okay, it should be any second. I didn't count. We will see the command has been executed. This way, you can sleep. Okay, it is stopped. So now when I refresh this page, I should see it is stopped. Yes. So it won't spend my money. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Now the MassedCompute part will begin. Okay, now I will show the MassedCompute part. For MassedCompute part, we are going to follow MassedCompute instructions. This is same for all of my applications. Always follow the instructions txt file. Please use this link to register MassedCompute. I appreciate that. Log in your account after registration. Go back to billing and add some credits. Once you have the credits, go to deploy. For Z image turbo version, my recommended GPU is L40S. But you see all of them is currently occupied and they are hopefully going to add new GPUs soon, they told me. So what can we use alternatively? We can use RTX 6000 ADA, but they are also all full. Yes, there are no RTX 6000 ADA GPU. Therefore, to cheapest one, which would take time, we can use RTX A6000 Premium. This is the cheapest one. If you want speed, you can use A100 or H100. So let's go with the cheapest option, RTX A6000. So let's select the category creator, select the image SE courses. So you see currently this is $0.56 per hour. We are going to apply our coupon SE courses, verify, and it's only 42 cents. Deploy. You see I have selected premium version. This premium version is the best one. It has the most RAM memory. Therefore, I recommend you to pick this one if you are going to use RTX A6000. However, my recommended GPU, as I said, for Z image turbo version L40S or RTX Pro 6000 if they are available. If they are not available, RTX 6000 ADA, this GPU. If none of them is available, you can use A100, H100 depending on your budget, or RTX A6000 and the premium version. Now we need to wait for the initialization. When you click the running instance, when you refresh this page, you will see it. Wait for initialization to be completed. Meanwhile, waiting for initialization, click details and you see there is ThinLinc client. If you haven't installed it yet, we are going to use it. Download according to your platform. I am on Windows, so let's download this. Let's start it. Yes. Next. Accept. Select the options. Run ThinLinc client. Once the ThinLinc client started, click options. Go to local devices. Just have clipboard synchronization and drivers enabled. Click drivers details and add a folder from your computer like this one. You see there is add and remove, or you can copy paste the path from here. Make sure that it has read and write permission. Click OK and click OK. Then just you need to wait for initialization to be completed. Sometimes refresh the page to be sure. Okay, the machine has been initialized. Before connecting it, I recommend you to put your training images, let's copy it, into your shared folder. So my shared folder is here, copy paste them there. Moreover, also copy the downloaded installation zip file into your shared folder. Then you are ready. Then click this IP. It is copied, copy paste it here. You see there is username, copy the username, copy paste here, and user password. You cannot transfer big files with ThinLinc client. You need to use like Google Drive, OneDrive, or Hugging Face. We have Hugging Face upload and download notebook as well. So this is only for small files like your training images or like installation zip files. Remember this. The big files will be very slow or will not work. Once you are in this screen, go to home, go to Thin Drives, MassedCompute shared folder. Wait for synchronization to be completed. Sometimes it can take time depending on your internet. Okay. Then select your installation zip file, drag and drop it into downloads folder. Moreover, drag and drop your training images as well. This is not mandatory. We will be able to upload from interface as in the Windows tutorial part, but you can have it. Then extract the installation in the downloads folder. Do not run anything in ThinLinc client driver in the shared folder. Always copy files into downloads. Enter inside the folder, double click MassedCompute instructions, copy this installation command, click this three dots icon, open in terminal inside this extracted folder, right click and paste. This will do the entire installation of the AI toolkit on MassedCompute. Now just wait for installation. This will be really fast compared to the RunPod. MassedCompute is super fast. Then meanwhile it is installing, copy pasting the training files during the installation will give you speed up, will reduce your timing. So that's an advantage. But you see this ThinLinc client for transferring files is very slow. It is really slow. Therefore, for big files, you need to use like Google Drive, OneDrive, big cloud services like Hugging Face. Okay, the training images have been copied. So while installing the AI toolkit, I will copy this, enter inside the AI toolkit, enter inside AI toolkit, and here make a new folder. Name it as Datasets because it is not automatically generated. Copy paste it here. So when we start the application, our dataset will be ready. Still, as in the Windows tutorial part, you can use the interface to upload from these datasets, new dataset, type your dataset like test, and you will be able to upload from this interface as well. Okay, installation is continuing. When you get this window, just click cancel. Moreover, when you start Google Chrome, it may ask you something as login or something. Okay, it didn't ask. If you get that error, just click cancel. So you don't need to update software installed on MassedCompute. Just click cancel to all of them. Moreover, I won't show you how to use SwarmUI on MassedCompute because we have fully up-to-date tutorial for MassedCompute. You see this one, ComfyUI and SwarmUI on Cloud GPUs tutorial. The link will be in the description of the video. So watch this to learn that part. I will just show how to use AI Toolkit on MassedCompute, not the how to use SwarmUI and ComfyUI and do the grid generation or other stuff, as I have shown in the Windows tutorial part. The biggest advantage of my installer is that it always installs the latest version of the AI Toolkit trainer. Moreover, it supports all of the GPUs with the latest pre-compiled drivers with Flash Attention, Xformer, Sage Attention, Torch version, CUDA version. Therefore, my installers are really better than using the templates. So during the Node.js installation, it is all automatic. You may get some warnings, just ignore them because it will work. My installer is fully optimized and made it so easy that you just run these 2 lines of command. It handles everything, all the setup for you. Okay, so the installation has been completed. You can scroll up to see if there are any errors or not. Then return back to your folder, open the MassedCompute instructions txt file again and copy this part. This is for starting. Then open 3 dots here, open in terminal, copy paste it. We always run the commands inside installed folder. This is super important. So it has been started. You can either use the local link like this, or if you want to connect from your computer, which I recommend, open link like this. So you see this is public link, and now I can connect from my computer. So let's see, it says yes, it says it is not secure, continue site. This is totally fine, and now yes. So you see it is running in MassedCompute, but I am connected from my computer. The dataset will be here since I have copy pasted it, or I can click copy dataset. I can type gg create, then I can add images and I can drag and drop images from here to upload. However, copy pasting from the disk is better than here in my opinion. Okay, let's refresh. We don't need it. Then click new job as in the Windows tutorial part, show advanced. Select the configuration from the zip file inside Z image turbo LoRA configs. So since this GPU is 24 GB, copy paste it, show simple. Give a name to your training, whatever you want. And then in the dataset, select it. As in the Windows tutorial part, you need to set your save every end steps and step count. Watch the Windows tutorial part, don't skip it. Then create job and then click play. So it will first download the necessary models, then it will start training. Then the checkpoints will appear here so that I will be able to download from here or in my machine in the AI Toolkit installation. They will be inside the output folder. So they will be inside here. To download from here, I can use my notebook, my Jupyter Lab notebook, or you can use Google Drive, OneDrive, or you can use the ThinLinc client. However, it would be very slow. So probably downloading from these checkpoints from here will be the fastest way to download. Let's wait until the training begins so we can see the speed. Okay, so the training has been started. It is like 18 seconds per IT. So it will take 30 hours for 6000 steps on this GPU. It is only 42 cents. Therefore, it will take like $12. However, it is up to you. You can rent powerful GPU, or you can use RunPod and 4090, 5090, or you can reduce the training resolution and speed up like 4 times, 5 times. It is totally up to you what you want to do, but this is how you do it. And as the checkpoints generated, they will appear here so that you can download and use on your local computer right away. This is it. I hope you have enjoyed. Don't forget to delete your machine once you have saved your generated checkpoints. Otherwise, if you use stop, it will not stop billing on MassedCompute. And MassedCompute team told me that they will get a lot of new GPUs, hopefully very soon, and maybe there will be permanent storage as well. We will see. Keep watching. Thank you so much.